All right, we're coming to you with another episode of Bustin' Hollywood's Balls. All right, we got some people you might know uh, coming out with videos and everything on Hollywood and everything going on. The great Debo, right? The great Debo would like to say a couple words about the magical world of the movie business. Copy this here and put it in my chat and description. Well, welcome to my world now, Debo. I'm sorry you passed away, though, but I've known this garbage my whole life. Uh, Now somebody's living like a king. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this. They're mad because they've been blackballed because they refuse to stand down to these people. So I've been there, bud.
Years. I couldn't get a job.
But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord.
They thought that I was some religious zealot, but to me, it was just that I didn't think it was the right thing to do.
Man, Hollywood is a dark place. Imagine being blacklisted, losing opportunities just because you chose integrity. Not because you can't act or because you caused trouble, but because you said no to promote their evil agendas.
Like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. You have to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
That's Tommy Lister talking.
Well, Terry, I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, you have to be careful what you say because, yes, kids want to be soldiers. They want to be madmen. They want to be a man. But now what are we dealing with? Well, now we're dealing with that, these kids now are killing people at 5, 6 years old. See? I know what you're saying, brother. I've been there. I know exactly what the blackball is all about. They'll make movies about you. They'll rub it in your face. You ain't gonna see a dime of it. They'll tell the whole world you're crazy. You're this, you're that. I understand what you're saying, sir. But you have to also look at the other end of this. If you're training men to be men and kill and destroy, because that's what men do. Now you got a whole earth full of men that want to kill. Then what happens after a while? Well, they start killing themselves off. And they start killing themselves off because, well, they all have egos. Nah. Now let's listen a little bit more of the darkness of the Hollywood streets.
A real solid dude. You can hear in his voice he believes standing his ground in Hollywood would come with consequences, but he still did it anyway. I honestly have so much respect for people like him. Here's Neil McDonough explaining what happened in Hollywood after he refused to do something he felt would disrespect his marriage.
I was blackballed for 2 years. I couldn't get a job. And because of that, I lost my big, beautiful house in Los Angeles, my shiny Mercedes, all my stuff, and my swagger. And as you can imagine at the time, I was really crushed. They thought that I was some religious zealot, but to me, it was just that I didn't think it was the right thing to do. And also, I really love my wife. And as I've said, and I'll say it a million times, these lips are meant for one woman. I won't kiss another woman because, as a villain, I may kill 10 guys in a scene. And when we're filming the scene, it's actually kind of funny because it's so absurd. But at the end of the scene, we're like, hey, have a great night. See you later. Let's go have a great time. I didn't actually kill anybody. But if I'm in bed with another woman and I kiss another woman, guess what I'm actually doing? I'm kissing another woman. I don't want my kids to see that. I don't want my family to see that. I really don't want God to see that. Family first, me second.
Well, you're right about that. That's true. A lot of people say, well, it's just acting, Johnny. Well, there's certain things I refuse to do. And be one of these skin flute players is not on my list. So, we decline, we walk away. We say, I don't care, keep the millions. They're all going to come back to me one day. Might be after you're all gone off of this earth. So I understand what these guys are saying. Now, this guy's married. In his head, there's only one woman in his life, and that's the woman the Lord gave him and matched him up with. He's not made to kiss anybody else or lay with anyone else but his wife. So I say kudos to the man, to both of them that refuse to stand down. Of course, they're no longer on earth. I keep forgetting that. These people kill. We only make movies, right? We don't do it. They do. The people we're fighting are killers, madmen, demons, monsters. Everything we make movies about, but in real life.
When you hear stories like that, it really makes you stop for a second. Because talk about Hollywood being dark didn't just start today. People have been hinting at it for a long time. I remember when Corey Feldman tried to open up about abuse. Plenty of people laughed at him. Some brushed him off. Some said he was out of his mind. Then later, others began to wonder if he had been trying to warn everybody. Now listen again to Tommy and Neil. Tommy is basically saying he felt pushed aside after refusing things he believed were wrong for him. Neil straight up says he was blackballed in Hollywood because he wouldn't kiss someone who wasn't his wife. Think about what that says. If an actor says, I don't want to play a pastor or I don't want to do a Christian role, do you really think Hollywood would destroy their career for that? Most people would say no, but refuse roles that go against your personal convictions the other way. And suddenly you start hearing about jobs disappearing, phones not ringing, people calling you difficult. That's where many people start feeling uneasy. It can look like there are some things you are free to reject. And many people start feeling jobs disappearing. They know, but
Take a look at this guy's face. Who does he look like? Go on, anyone out there? Anybody? Spitting image of Matt Damon. Anybody? Yeah, I would say so. Ain't his name Matt Damon or whatever? He plays in that man. Yeah, I think so. Looks just like him. Oh my God, what are we looking at? A twin? Matt Damon's father, maybe? Brother, sister, who knows? It's pretty crazy if you ask me. He does, but you put dark hair on him, he sure does look like that guy. Very interesting. That's freaky in itself. In itself, there's two of them.
use roles that go against your personal convictions the other way. And suddenly you start hearing about jobs disappearing, phones not ringing, people calling you difficult. That's where many people start feeling uneasy. It can look like there are some things you are free to reject, and other things you are not allowed to reject. And if that's true, then yeah, Hollywood starts to feel like a very dark place. The sad part is, a lot of people chase fame thinking it's the ultimate prize. Some will do almost anything to stay in the spotlight. But at what cost? There's that Bible question people always quote, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Moments like this are why that question hits hard. Because if someone is punished for protecting their faith, their marriage, or their personal boundaries, then maybe the price of fame is bigger than we imagine. What do you think?
Well, I think just that. They sold all their souls. Now, hold on a minute, folks. I'll be right back in 1 second. No, I got a YouTuber trespassing on me. All right, we had to get that settled and handled. So, is Hollywood all it's cracked up to be, folks? Well, it depends. If you're a glutton for money and punishment and all that, uh, fame, cameras up your ass 24/7, people wanting to know whatever, government hacking your systems. You're never getting paid what you're worth or even getting a check, period, if you piss somebody off. Is it all worth it? I can give two craps to keep the billions of dollars. You got hell to pay, folks. Right? That's pretty much what it is. You'll have hell to pay. So there you go. Another fine, beautiful, warm, kind video from our friends out west in Hollywood. God rests these men's souls. Rest in peace, Debo. And we'll be back with more content.